Hi, this is Keeper, and welcome back to On Air Tuesday, November 22nd, 2011. Today we look at blogs, some of the best blogs on business and lifestyles that direct selling has to offer by some of the best bloggers in all of direct selling. We also begin to look at our annual Power 50, Power 54, which will be broadcast live on Direct Selling Live January 22nd at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We also look at the big news story of the day, and I will close out with a special commentary here on Air. This is Keeper, and welcome back to On Air. Glad you could join me. Today we're going to be looking at a couple of different issues. Blogging, we're going to be taking a look at the Power 50. Big news story that actually is about Avon, some trouble that they've gotten into recently. And I'm going to do a very special commentary that I suggest you all stick around for. It's going to be about a commentary when you create a media, when you start to become journalists. Some of the things you have to give up in order to produce an unbiased story. Some of the friendships that you may step on, but hopefully you're able to reproduce those. Because to be able to do what I do requires that I investigate it. Sometimes not tell some flattering stories, but oftentimes, I do a very good balanced job. But I digress. Blogs. Blogging is an art form. It's really something that everyone wants to do, but not everyone can do. It's like all the wacky recruiting trainer videos that are out there. Trainers that are up and coming that are trying to get you and everyone else to join their direct selling company or become their customer. It's something everyone wants to do just because of the internet and the ease in which you can do it. But not everyone can create a video, and not everyone should be creating a video. Most people should just be taking their time, learning their business, doing the person-to-person, hand-to-hand way of building the business. Blogging is the same way. It's an art form, as I said. You have to really be able to deliver the ROI, otherwise known as the return on investment. In this case, the return on investment is not for the writer. The return on investment is for the reader. The ROI, or return on reader investment, RORI, return on reader investment. We're going to share some of the top 5 blogs in all of direct selling. Now, what makes a blog extremely valuable to the reader? Well, it's got to do a couple of things. It's got to be able to help them with their business and or their lifestyle. It has to really help them improve some aspect of their life. Typically, it will be with the business because we are talking about direct selling. Also, you want the blogger to be somewhat prolific. You want them to be constant with their blogging. It's not always the main thing that they be prolific, but you want them to be constant, not in what they're writing, but in their delivery, how often they're doing it, because that way you can come to depend on them to deliver good, valuable information. One of the best blogs that I like to actually read, and I think every distributor should actually go to this blog, is the Direct Selling Association's Direct Selling 411 blog. Direct Selling 411 blog. That blog is put on by the Direct Selling Association. It's really, really good because it gives the distributor, it also gives the customer and the prospect an opportunity to take an aerial view of what direct selling is all about. Amy Robinson, who is the Vice President and Chief Marketing Officer for the Direct Selling Association, handles the blog. She does a very good job. I just wish she could come up with a way to deliver more posts, but she has a lot of duties over at the DSA. But her blog is really, really good. What you've got here, as you can see, is a wide variety of topics, a wide variety of subjects. But over here on the, which would be for you, your left-hand side, you see where you've got customers, you've got distributors. You can also go in here and take a look at statistical data on the Direct Selling Association that will help you deliver information to your prospect and your customer. You also have some quizzes that she puts up. But her blogging is really, really good from a general standpoint on what direct selling is all about. Keep in mind that the DSA, when they're talking about issues as it relates to direct selling, usually stick to those companies that are part of their association. At one point, the Direct Selling Association had over 220, close to 240 members. Now they're somewhere down around 180 to 190 companies as part of their association. That withstanding, the blog that Amy does do is a really, really good blog. I think everyone should look at what she's talking about. In fact, her most recent blog is about the Direct Selling Association being on the Today Show. They're really trying to deliver great information. I think the DSA's Direct Selling 411 blog is an outstanding blog. The next blog we're going to look at is the blog by Jennifer Fong, and that is at jenfongspeaks.com. Jennifer Fong had made our Power 50 last year because of her ability to teach and deliver information to direct sellers to help them build their business via social media. She is one of the biggest advocates of social media. As you can see, her site it's just pretty much text driven. There's not a lot of activity to it, but the information is critical to the understanding of how to further develop your business. It wasn't long ago when I launched DirectSellingLive that I was told by some of the top media direct selling it was an absolute stupid idea because no one would build their business using social media. Told me I was absolutely off base. Of course, I laughed and told them they didn't know what they were talking about. Now, when you look at Direct Selling News, Network Marketing Business Journal, when you look at Success Magazine, there are constant articles on social media. Jennifer Fong is, in a lot of ways, responsible for making sure that the social media space is talked about in direct selling. Her blog right here is really an outstanding blog. You learn a lot about social media, you learn a lot about how to write it, you learn a lot about how to deliver it. Our next blog is a blog by Deb Bixler in her Create a Cash Flow Show at createacashflowshow.com. This is a very colorful blog. It is packed with information. Now you need to understand that a lot of what Deb talks about is from the standpoint of the party plan, which is what makes her blog unique. You don't have a lot of blogs that center around how to build your party plan business. Deb is outstanding at delivering this information, and she brings in topics from other associations and companies. So it's an outstanding blog, particularly if you are one who is into party plans or used to doing home demonstrations. She's an expert at it. She made a lot of money doing it, and she knows what she is talking about. So everyone who does any kind of home party or does some sort of party plan, you need to be coming to Deb Bixler's Create a Cashflowshow.com. Next is one of my favorites. I just think this is an absolute wonderful blog. It's from Lisa Wilbur at Avon in her Winner in You blog. Lisa, what makes her blog so special to me is the lifestyle part of it. I mean, it's not all about the business. She's talking about everyday things on top of business, don't get me wrong. She's talking about everyday things that you go through. Her current topic is absolutely funny, it's insightful, but it's called A Woman's Definition of Multitasking. She was listening to this speaker, a guy, who was talking about the business and she was enjoying it. You should go to her blog and read it. She was enjoying it until he started putting down what it takes to become a multitasker. And that's the one thing, or one of the things you do not want to challenge a woman on, multitasking. I dare not do it myself. I recommend every man in the world dare not do it. She's also got another one that, if you know anything about Lisa's history, she was in a trailer home. She was extremely poor. And as she made her way through and becoming successful, she's constantly asked this one question, and she said it just drives her up the wall. And the one question is, if you could boil it down to one thing that made all the difference, what would it be? One thing? How can it possibly be one thing? This is part of what you get on her blog. And on top of just good, basic business strategies, on how to build your business. It's one of my favorite blogs. She's insightful, she's funny, and she's actually going to be blogging for us come January 22nd on our politics in direct selling. We're going to be doing a whole blog on politics. We've got a libertarian, which Lisa Wilbur is. She's absolutely a fantastic Avon distributor, one of the top 5, and she's a politician in New Hampshire. We've got Ruth Webster from Soul Purpose Lifestyle Company. She's going to be the independent. We've got Gene Bronstein, who will be the liberal progressive, and Kelly Foote, who will be representing the Tea Party. We're still looking for a mainstream Democrat and a mainstream Republican, as well as someone who fits the 18 to 24-year-old market. So Lisa Wilbur is just an absolutely fantastic person. Her blog is a must-read. The last blog is not really a blog. What it is the online news piece for Direct Selling News. Direct Selling News puts out the magazine each month that goes to executives, so most distributors don't know anything about it. The reason why it's on this list is because if you want to know the type of information that's being delivered to executives and companies, Direct Selling News at DirectSellingLive's.com, they're the ones who deliver it. It is insightful. They have a really good article this month on India. If you want to understand what the global space for direct selling is all about, what's going on in the economy in different countries, in different regions of the world, what some of the best executives are doing, if you want to know what executive movement is taking place, if you want to see a really good spotlight on companies each month, Direct Selling News is something that you should read. I think every distributor should actually go to this site, just because it will give you an insight as to what management is thinking and those issues that concern them. So those are our top 5 blogs. We've got the Direct Selling Association's Direct Selling 411 at DirectSelling411.com. We've got Jennifer Fong's social media site blog at JenFongSpeaks.com. We've got Deb Bixler's Create a Cash Flow Show at CreateACashFlowShow.com. Lisa Wilbur's Winner in You. But you need to, when you do the search for it in Google or something, you need to go to Lisa, you need to put in Winner in You blog. Otherwise, it'll take you to her Winner in You site. Go to Winner in You blog and you'll get to her blog site. And the very last is Direct Selling News, their online magazine. Like I said, it's not a blog, but it's really news that every distributor should be looking at. Up next, we're going to look at the Power 50, our annual Power 50, the 4th one, coming January 22nd, live on Direct Selling Live. See you in a few seconds. On January 26, 2012, Direct Selling Live will announce its annual Power 50, Power 54. It will be a live event once again on Direct Selling Live. Last year, Direct Selling Live broadcast live its Power 50 at 6 o'clock in the morning. Why? We wanted to see if anyone would actually come to watch it. Yeah, a lot of you came to watch it. And I mean a lot of you came to watch it. At 6 o'clock in the morning. On January 26, 2012, it won't be 6 o'clock in the morning. It will be 6 o'clock in the evening Pacific Standard Time. This upcoming Power 50 will have some changes, of course, because our Power 50 looks at what an individual has done during that calendar year. Your ability to impact direct selling is one aspect of it. The other major criteria is, does what you do transcend the industry? Does it have any impact on the global space outside of direct selling? Because if you can do that, then you bring a lot of attention, a lot of positive attention to direct selling. So there will be some changes every year, which is the really great thing about it. You have to earn your way onto it. This year's Power 50, it's going to be very interesting how we actually end up with the top 10. There's so much movement going on. There's so many things that are impacting who we are as a direct selling community, from politics to religion to social issues, of course, to business building issues. Who has really impacted direct selling in some way or another? Your ability to impact direct selling isn't always positive, but even if it's not positive, your actions may cause a positive action to take place. So that in and of itself means that you've impacted direct selling. That's the whole thing. What impact? Have you had a major impact, good or bad? The other aspect, of course, we're always looking for the individuals that can bring something positive that goes outside of the direct selling community. So it's going to be really, really cool. Take a look at this really short piece here, and you'll see some of the people that have made the previous Power 50s. And, of course, we look to see a lot of these people once again on Power 54 on January 26, 2012.
I see you pumping it up. I see you pumping it up. I see you pumping it up. Power people. I see you pumping it up. I see you pumping it up. I see you pumping it up. Power people. I see you pumping it up. I see you pumping it up. I see you pumping it up.
Number 1.
It's now time for the big direct selling news story of the day. All right, this one is actually going to sit around Avon. We look for news that will be of interest to direct sellers daily, and we look for that one bit of news that we think will have some pretty good impact that you all would be interested in hearing. This one centers around Avon, as reported by The Guardian. The Security and Exchange investigates allegations that Avon reps bribed foreign officials. I'm going to read this. Even the best get caught with their hand in the cookie jar. This isn't necessarily directed at Avon corporate, but some of the top people in Avon, specifically 4 people who were dismissed because of this, impacted not only Avon in a negative way, but it also impacted the entire direct selling community as they look to go into China. What this says, SEC investigates the allegations that Avon reps bribed foreign officials. Avon admits involvement. The admission follows a 2-year international investigation that so far cost more than $150 million. Avon and U.S. authorities are investigating allegations that Avon representatives spent tens of millions of dollars bribing officials in China and Latin America. The company disclosed in a regulatory filing that a formal order of investigation by the Security and Exchange Commission, the SEC, was underway under the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act. The FCPA made it illegal for representatives from U.S. firms to bribe foreign officials. So Avon has gotten themselves into trouble, and it's costing them dearly. The Security and Exchange Commission also investigated whether Avon improperly disclosed information to analysts and other members of the financial community in 2010 and 2011. Avon's investigation began after an employee at Avon wrote to the company's chairman and chief executive, Andrea Jung, alleging that executives were improperly spending money on Chinese government officials. 4 senior executives were fired in May, and Avon has since uncovered millions of dollars in questionable payments to officials in Argentina, Brazil, India, Japan, as well as China. Legal experts said the formal investigation could land Avon with a very, very huge bill. This came as Avon announced that it would miss its revenue target. It said it was reevaluating its long-term business plans. And that's the big direct selling news of the day. Avon caught with their hand in the cookie jar, or 4 major executives at Avon caught with their hand in the cookie jar. I'll be right back with my special commentary. Those of you who know me or know anything about me know that I absolutely love direct selling. I love everything about it. I think it's absolutely fantastic. The people, the stories, what's going on, what's coming. I love everything about it. I love the good, the bad. It's such a fascinating look at an industry that's just a microcosm of the world, actually. When you start to get into media and journalism and investigative reporting, more often than not, you're going to step on some people. And you're going to step on some toes. You may, in some instances, you may bruise one here or there. You may crack one over here. But all in all, it is a challenging position to be in. If you are, in fact, going to do a service to the industry, you have to be unbiased in your reporting. You cannot let friendships get in the way. Just because you are friends with someone doesn't mean you can't report on something that they're not doing well or some trouble they've gotten into. If we are in fact going to be a community of great service, we have to be able to police ourselves. We have to be able to look at things that we're doing and suggest and point out when someone is not doing something well. Up until I came around, most of the media in direct selling, they're throwing softball stories out there. I mean, they're big and soft and beautiful, and they really don't talk about any of the issues that are impacting direct selling in a negative way. In my opinion, that has done us more harm than good. It's important that we know who's doing what, why they're doing it, so that we can do something about it, or at least be aware of it so we're not caught with our pants down. My most recent story on the DSWA may have stepped on a toe or two, but the overall impact of it has been an overwhelmingly positive support for what I wrote. The women that have been sending emails saying, thank you, I had no idea, yes, the DSWA should be getting involved with this, I'm going to investigate it further, has been absolutely overwhelming. I absolutely love Nikki and Grace, but in order for me to do my job, I have to come at it from an unbiased point of view. There are no sacred cows, which is something that I made absolutely clear in my very first broadcast. I intend on continuing to do my job and doing it to the best of my ability, delivering to you unbiased news and opinion so that you have a very good understanding of what's going on with direct selling. If anyone who I have ever told a story about or written a story about or investigated wants to come on to On Air and have a discussion as to why they agree, why they disagree, or just state their case, you are more than welcome at any time. It's all about knowledge. It's all about information. It's all about education. It's all about growth. It's all about making us a much better, stronger community than we have ever been in our history. Thanks for joining me today on Air. I will see you tomorrow.